por hondo que sei il mar profondo, no habrá una barrera en el mundo que mi amor profundo no rompa por ti. Ay, amor es el pan de la vida. Amor es la copa divina. Amor es un árbol sin nombre que obsesiona al hombre por una mujer.
Guys, how are you? We have Will Barry in the keys. We have John Bauer on the vocals. John will be starting, so please enjoy the mojitos. And the party is about to start.
Party?
This is a party! Number 6 is always a party.
Ladies and gents, thanks for waiting, okay? But it's going to be a worth of an evening to wait. So you're probably thinking, why am I dressed up like this? Why do you think? Only reason is because I want to see what I look like when I go to Cuba next week. Yeah. So in Havana next week on the gala night, this is exactly what I'm going to wear because it's the BEHIKE 58 launch. Needs respect, doesn't it? Needs respect. White, dark trousers, hat, and the BEHIKE 58. You know, I wear this, but I bet you they're going to bring a new band.
They did this with Party Guest, didn't they? They bought a red dress and it was all blue.
So,
White band.
huh?
White band.
So talking about the band, who thinks BEHIKE Habanos is going to bring a new band? Come on, don't be scared. Come on, don't be shy. It's a room of, you know, communications, huh? 2, 3, just 3. 3, 4. Think about it, guys, right? The original band hasn't changed since 2010. Yeah, so this is the 15th anniversary for the BEHIKE. So we'll talk about that later on in the evening, okay? So we thought, Rek and I are going to Cuba on Sunday, and it's the Habanos BEHIKE anniversary, 15th anniversary. So we thought, what better cigar to do than the BEHIKE? As you all know, we got the BEHIKE, yeah? But you're all probably wondering what size. I know everybody wants here a 56, right?
And what year?
And the year. Look, why? Huh? You should be happy with just a BEHIKE. Huh?
Much more happier with a
With a BEHIKE. Or with an older cigar.
older.
I think what we've done here, we've set a wrong trend, haven't we? Because our night is always about special cigars with good age to them, isn't it?
Sometimes they can be special because it's got a good meaning to it.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be special because it's old.
Correct. Yeah. So obviously, Jean, I don't want you to speak, okay? Because you know everything. All right? Let other people have a chance, okay? Let other people have a chance, okay? So, how many here have smoked the BEHIKE cigar? Any of them? 52, 54, 56? Yeah? You can put your hand up. You can put your hand up on this. Yeah? So, quite majority of you, huh? So, you should all know when the original BEHIKE came out. What year? No! What year? I'm sure Asif heard him anyway. Come on then, what year was the original BEHIKE that came out? No Googling.
When it was released, you
When
mean?
not released, when did Habanos announce the original BEHIKE?
2010.
Guys, mathematics. We are in 2025. It's celebrating 15 years.
Yeah, so no. They said 2010, which is wrong.
It is wrong.
Yeah? So your math is wrong. 2006. So when they released the original BEHIKE, they announced it at the festival of 2006 February. They announced that they're going to make a new Cohiba, named it the BEHIKE. Gentlemen, hi, how you doing? You haven't missed much. Which is good. We're just getting into it. No one's got their cigars yet. So the original BEHIKE was released in 2006. And what Habanos did is they released a humidor. That humidor contained 40 cigars. Everybody know the company LA Bleu in France, which makes super quality humidors. So it was the first time Habanos got LA Bleu to make their humidor. And obviously we all thought, wow, fantastic. And always ching, 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 thinking how much it's going to be. So only 100 humidors were made. And we have one of the humidors here tonight to show everybody. Guys, you can come up later on in the evening, take pictures, but I don't want you to touch the humidor nor the cigars, okay? You can take pictures and everything, but it's a super, super, super rare humidor, only 100 made. So you probably want to know, I'd rather tell you, so you know, okay? So obviously when this first came out.
We're having that tonight.
Nah.
What, for £295? I know I'm Indian, but not that Indian, okay? So the market price of this right now is anything from 700,000 to 800,000 per unit for 40 cigars. So, and around the world, there aren't 100 units left intact. So I would say 30% that are still intact. So the less there's available, the higher the price goes. And obviously the rarity. And by being the BEHIKE anniversary, 15th anniversary, we want to know what's the new humidor that Habanos is going to bring out.
There aren't many people in the world that would see it in person.
No, if you, yeah,
You
correct.
see it online, you see videos of it, but to see it in person is pretty special, pretty lucky.
Yeah. So I hope everybody feels lucky. Feel lucky tonight? Huh? You just want a cigar in your hand, don't you?
Are we doing a raffle?
No, there's no raffle. There's no raffle, okay? Okay, Reka's pushing me because I know everybody wants a cigar, okay? So we did decide what cigar shall we do, 52, 54, 56. We're going to do a, yeah, bring it up. We're going to do a, don't be disappointed, okay? It's a 52, okay? The reason we chose a 52, because how many years have No. 6 been open for?
50 years.
5 years. So we've got a 5-year aged, which is good.
Pretty much to the day, March 2020, this box is.
Yeah, March 2020. So it's got good 5 years on it, a 52. Say again?
COVID box.
COVID cigar.
COVID cigar through March 2020.
That's true. March, yeah. So we're going to smoke a 52, okay? 52 from March 2020, okay? It's a beautiful wrapper. We've checked it. Smell is just gorgeous. And also, we have David here. You're probably thinking, who's this gentleman standing next to me?
Say nothing. Listening.
Yes, and obviously you've seen glasses in front of you, which we've asked you not to open or touch. So you guys have got a flight of rum today. David owns his company called the House of Rum. Yeah.
Easy one to remember.
Yeah. So it's really good of him to come here this evening and talk about
You have to stop talking now.
the rum. So David start talking, and we will go around handing the cigars. Thank you very much.
Okay, no, thank you. Can you see me, guys? Okay, so my name's David Howarth. I'm the founder, brand owner of a brand of rum called House of Rum. We do single cask, single vintage, cask strength rums. Every single rum that we bottle is completely unique, one of a kind. The 3 rums that we've chosen for this evening to go with the 3 stages of the cigar is our Dominican Republic 2000 from Oliver E. Oliver. Then we're going to move on to our Jamaica 2013 from Worthy Park. And then we're going to have a Trinidad 2012 from Trinidad Distillers.
That was my heart trying to That was my heart surrendering you. I ran you to a king. If you hear a song from my tender sentimental woe, that was my heart trying to compose my prelude to
So I've been lucky enough to travel and work and live in the Caribbean for over 30 years. I know it's tough, and I was a scuba diving instructor as well, so even better. That's how I fell in love with rum in the Caribbean. So a majority of the rums that we have are Caribbean based, although we do have some other rums in cask from around the world. We only ever get up to 300 bottles per cask. Very often it's a lot less. We don't do anything with the rums. All we do is once we've selected a cask, and we buy them at auction or from collectors, investors, distilleries, we filter them ever so slightly, and then we put it straight in the bottle. So we don't add water to reduce the ABV and increase the volume. We don't put sugar for sweetness. We don't put caramel for colour. These are rums in their most purest form. Okay? Just to give you an example of that, just to show you the two different sort of colours, the effect that wood has, if everybody can see that in the light. Normally when you look on a shelf of premium spirits, the darkness is because they've introduced caramel. The wood, the colouring of the rums is purely down to the wood. And the rums that we've got for you this evening are all molasses-based rums, American oak ex-bourbon casks. So I'll tell you a little bit more about Dominican Republic. This is from 2000. We bottled this in 2023, so this was 23 years old when we actually took it from the cask and placed it into the bottle. It spent time tropically maturing in the Dominican Republic, about 8 years, and then it was shipped over to Europe, where it was continentally aged for the rest of its life, for another 15 years. And this is the Dominican Republic. So this is the first rum we'd like you to try this evening. So if you look at your glasses, you'll see that they've all got a little label on them. And so the first one that we've paired with the start of your cigar is the Dominican Republic. The distillery is Oliver y Oliver, and this is a really interesting story. The family started in Cuba, and then after the Cuban Revolution, they moved to the Dominican Republic, started their distillery in the late 1990s, and so they've been distilling rum for the last 20 years. And so this is over 20 years. This is 28 years, and this is one of the first expressions that they ever made. I'll let you taste it without giving you too many hints, but we're starting off and we're taking you on a rum journey this evening. All the rums are distinctly different. We're going to start off with something that's very vanilla, creme brulee. Then we move to Jamaica, very funky, hiestas. And then we finish off with a Trinidad, which is very tropical fruit. But I'll get into that a little bit later.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Ladies and gents, so I just want to talk. I know you've got into your cigars, and I've been around the room a little bit, and I know it's not a long cigar, but it's a cigar that if you smoke slowly rather than quick, and if you always remember what I say, you can always find out if you're smoking too quick. How do you check? There you go, little Declan. Yeah, if you put your fingers up here, if it's too hot to hold, that means you're smoking it too fast. Okay, respect the cigar. So if you can't hold it, put the cigar down, let it cool down, and start again. Because if you're smoking it too quick, this particular cigar, you will not enjoy the flavors of it. And if you don't retrohale, who doesn't retrohale in here? You don't retrohale?
I do retrohale.
There's the front door. So the BEHIKE. What makes the BEHIKE so special?
The price.
The price? 100%, I agree with you. The price.
The brand.
But guess what? The price, the brand,
The name.
the name, it still makes people talking about it, and makes people, I know it's expensive, but I want to try it. Yeah, I want to try it. But there's another factor. Why is the BEHIKE so special?
The extra leaf.
The extra leaf. Well done. And who knows this extra leaf? Joel, be quiet.
Okay.
Did I hear something?
Christian said something.
Huh? Christian should know. Christian should know. So come on, who knows why is the BEHIKE, Banner, no. Why is the BEHIKE so special? The ligero. Okay. So it's kind of ligero. Yeah, there's another word for it. There is another word. And this particular leaf is, when Habanos grows it, it's the most expensive part of the plant. So it grows right at the top, and it's size of a 52 BEHIKE.
Isn't it 54?
Yeah. No, it's exactly a 52.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure. We'll check it.
That 54 is the best BEHIKE because it's the whole medio tempo leaf. 52, they've got to take some away, and 56, you have to add.
I think she's right.
And he got
Corrected. It's true. Corrected. So it's called medio. It's called medio tempo. It's called a medio tempo. Now it's more stronger than the ligero. So ligero, that we all know, it's the strongest part of a cigar. This particular leaf, medio tempo, which grows on top of the plant, And the reason it's more expensive and harder for Habanos to cultivate, to age, ferment, is because if it's fermented too much, it dies. If it's fermented too less, it doesn't create the flavors. So they lose more than they have. So hence why the BEHIKE range is expensive, the harvest, yes. So they're gonna have the harvest, but if the harvest doesn't produce too much medio tempo, that means we have seen in the past, and we will see in the future, we cannot find the BEHIKEs because they're, all of a sudden the world has run out. And what happens when stock run out? What happens to the price? It goes up. Yeah. So, but this is, it's a great product that Habanos has brought out, isn't it? So medio tempo in the old days, and I'm talking about the 50s, the 60s, certain cigars, they used to use medio tempo in there, but not all the cigars. But the only cigar they use medio tempo now is the BEHIKE line, 52, 54, 56. So let me just tell you a little history on what you will see when you come and have a look at the actual humidor. Okay, we call it the humidor, but I think it's a piece of art. It is a piece of art, because when you come along here, you'll see the wood, and it's called black ebony. So black ebony is hard to process, to use. So every black bit you see is black ebony. The taino head you see here in the middle, that's mother of pearl. Then you will come along and you'll see a skin. This is manta ray skin. Yes? Everybody knows what a manta ray skin is, or what a manta ray is? Yeah? So this is, what's the other word for manta ray?
Stingray.
Stingray.
Is it?
Stingray?
Yeah, it's like a shark.
Manta ray is the one that with big wings, right? Yes. So this is, every single 100 humidor was made with manta ray skin, and you will see like a chessboard. So the actual chessboard, the white in the middle, this is ox bone. Okay, so they've used ox bone all the way around, and it's all inlaid. It's not stuck on, it's inlaid, okay? And when you look around all the way here, this is all inlaid here as well. So the precious material they use just on the top is very rare. And this is the first time LA Bleu ever made a humidor this beautiful for Habanos. And after this, they've made, what's the other humidor that LA Bleu made for Habanos? Anybody know? It was, the next one they made was the Cohiba 50th anniversary. Yep, again, but only 50 made in the world. They made a Romeo and Juliet humidor, which is, we don't even have one. Normally we manage to get every single humidor, but this particular humidor, we didn't get it. It's made by LA Bleu, red, and it's curved on the top with 100 Romeo and Juliet with gold foil on it. Beautiful. And we think the BEHIKE 60th anniversary next year may be another LA Bleu humidor, but we'll wait to see. So the key has a number of the humidor as well. Wait. Hey, see, look at all these pictures. Hey guys. Now when you come here, if you can, as I open the humidor, you can smell the cigar. You can smell the cigar. So this is every single cigar has got a second band on it named the BEHIKE. So there was only one lady that rolled every single cigar for all 100 humidors. And her name was Norma Fernandez. And she works at the Cohiba factory. So she was the only one allowed to roll every single cigar. And a lot of people think, so if you look at the band, each band is numbered to match the humidor. So it's on a sequence, okay? And it's all handwritten. And there were some humidors going around after Habanos released these, where the second band, what they did was printed. The actual numbers were printed. A lot of people say, yep, that's the second release Habanos made. Habanos did not make a second release. So those humidors are fake. But a lot of people got done and they bought. But so if you see another humidor like this and the numbers is printed by, it's literally printed by machine, you know it's not real. Now, this is the only second time when they released this. So this is the second humidor that was numbered. But the first humidor that they ever numbered every single cigar was the 1492 Christopher Columbus humidor, released in 1992, called the 1492 humidor to celebrate 500 years of Christopher Columbus, to celebrate Christopher Columbus visiting Cuba. And they only made 502 humidors. Yeah. But what they did then is this. You see the number is on the band. With the 1492, what they did is the number was underneath the main band. But you have to take, when you take the band off, inside the band, each band was numbered. Yeah, that's the first time they ever numbered the humidor, and this is the second time they ever numbered the cigar as well. Sorry, I meant the cigar, okay? And they haven't numbered the cigars like this again. Yeah, 40 cigars, 20 and 20. And you're probably going to say, how do we get to the bottom one here? But what they did is that you get hold of this, and it's magnetized, okay? You lift, and you take the tray away. And you've got the second layer underneath. And you've got the actual humidification system that you can trigger. We don't, because we keep it in our humidor. I can smell the cedar on here.
Nel barrio la cachimba si ha formado la corredera. Nel barrio la cachimba si ha formado la corredera. Pero los bomberos con sus campanas, sus sirenas. Pero los bomberos con sus campanas, sus sirenas. Ay, mamá, ¿qué pasó? Ay, mamá, ¿qué pasó? Tuturi, lam lam do de, lam lam do de, lam lam do de. Somebody did it. Si ha formado la corredera. Nel barrio la cachimba si ha formado la corredera. Allá fueron los bomberos con sus campanas, sus sirenas.
So the second rum that I'm going to talk about is the Jamaica 2013 from Worthy Park Distillery. Now what you'll find, and we've talked about journeys a few times, we definitely want to take you on a journey of discovery with our rums. So we started off with that creme brulee, really sweet vanilla raisiny style rum. Now we've moved on to a Jamaican rum, and Jamaican rums are very, very well known for being funky. What does funky mean? Well, the way that rum is produced in Jamaica is the fermentation process. It's very slow. They take a little bit longer than everybody else. They use a lot of it's locally produced sugar cane, a native yeast, and the molasses are allowed to ferment for a much longer period in really old vats outside. After the fermentation process, then we've got a pot still. The last rum that we drank was from a column still. So this high ester content and the use of a column still gives you that funk. So when we take the aroma on this one, on this particular rum, you'll notice straight away it's completely different to the previous rum. Still American oak, ex-bourbon cask, still a molasses-based rum, but completely different from the previous one.
Mi vida es tan solo eso, rumba buena y yo hago. Quien para que pa' que mamá, quien para que pa' que mamá. Quien para que pa' que mamá, quien para que pa' que mamá.
So we're going to do the third rum now. So this is from Trinidad. This is our 2012, again bottled in 2023. This is actually the highest ABV at 64.3%, although it won't feel it. Don't panic, don't panic. Rums from Trinidad, particularly from Trinidad Distillers, and Trinidad Distillers is the only rum distillery left in Trinidad. All the others have closed over time. They use a column still. Again, the molasses, the sugar is all locally produced. And what you get typically from rums in Trinidad is a real explosion of fruits, fresh fruits, pineapple and mango. Whereas on the Jamaica, it was more the overripe bananas. This is pure fresh fruit. It is, despite the ABV, it is light on the palate. But this is the journey we've taken you on today, yeah? So the creme brulees and the sweetness, the dessert, to the Jamaica, and now we're finishing off with a real joy of a rum from Trinidad Distillers.
I can really smell the sweetness in here.
Yeah, massive. Raisins, lots of raisins. This is very often when we do this. When we do this very often, this is people's favourite for sure. This is, yeah, you like that?
This is delicious.
You're from Trinidad?
I am, yes.
Oh, well, there you go.
Biased.
Biased. But for you, it's very distinct, this, isn't it? You know it's a Trinidad rum.
You know, I think the strength of the cigar with the sweetness and the flavor notes of the Trinidad,
Yep.
it matches.
Good.
It matches.
That was the plan.
Yeah. What ABV is it?
64.3%. It's our highest ABV
Wow.
of any of our collection of 9 rums.
Who's driving home?
So would you, David, you know, like whiskies?
Yep.
Whiskies have high ABV.
Yep.
And you put drops of water into it.
Oh yeah, 100%. We you know, these are sipping rums, very much like a fine champagne cognac or a single malt whiskey. If you choose to take it over ice, or if you want to add drops of water, that's entirely up to you. And as you know, that will definitely open up the expression. There is a distillery, a very famous distillery called Coroni in Trinidad, which closed in 2002, 2003. And the story goes, it's getting a bit of an urban legend, there's now a bit of a mythical status. But there was a warehouse that was discovered nearly 8 or 9 years later, which still had some rum in it. So somebody bought the entire collection from the Trinidad government, and then over time, this is going back 2010 now, so 15 years, over the last 15 years they've been released as special editions and all this. We managed to secure at auction and through a private collector a cask of 97, a cask of 98, and a cask of 99. So we bottled it in January. So it's the oldest bottling of this incredibly rare rum, which you just can't buy. And we're releasing them in sets. So you can buy number 1 of 97, number 1 of 98, and number 1 of 99 as a set. But yeah, there's no one ever sold them as a set. And we are the oldest bottling because we're the newest bottling, if that makes sense. Yeah, 26, 27, 28 years old. So that's coming soon. So we'll. All right. So hey, listen, thank you for sharing. You know, as a brand owner, we don't get to do this too often. Just walking around the room talking to people, I think most people have really enjoyed it, and it's paired really well. Thanks to Marshall, paired really well with the cigar. So I think it's been a great evening, and I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, sorry, yeah. So we do have, sorry, one more gift. I completely forgot about this. I did bring some miniatures along for everybody. It's a 50mm miniature. Oh. And it's from our Central American collection. So we have just one bottle per person to give to everybody. We've got a Panama 2004, El Salvador 2010, or a Guatemala 2012.
Whoa, thank you.
It's just one for everybody, just to give you a taste of it. Again, part of that journey.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gents, I just want to really quickly say thank you to Heidi and Will. This is, you know, the first night we have done live music at No.6. It won't be the last.
How did you enjoy it?
I think it adds a really good vibe to the evening. You know, the music is fantastic. Your voice is phenomenal. The piano, keyboard. I'm not a musician. I don't know. Really, thank you. It's been so nice. Really good.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you to the lovely Marshall and everyone here for inviting us and putting on a lovely evening. Thank you so much.